10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I'm wiser, stronger this time. 3, 2. I got my weight up, my game up, changed my mindset and point of view. You gon' know I'm a winner. You get the gist.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Kenny Ray Tevis with Secret Sauce. I am excited today, and I want to welcome you all here. We are, live and in full effect here in the studios where we are sharing with our other partners, Fresh Leftovers. Shout out to Fresh Leftovers. Shout out to Legacy, who's in the building today. He was my guest on last week, so when you get a chance, go back and check that out. Listen, I want to encourage you all, subscribe to become our guests so you can see what's going on, because we got a lot of things coming up in 2024. We're truly excited. I'm excited today, man. I am really, really excited. And before we get into introducing our guest, I want to take time and dedicate this particular show. Now, you guys might watch this. Probably it'll be out in a couple of weeks. But today, when we aired this show, was January 29th. And just 3 days prior, on the 26th, we all know what happened in 2020. It seems like life stopped for a day, especially in the world of sports, where we lost the late, great Kobe Bryant. And so in honor of his legacy, we got the Laker paraphernalia on. I bought I had a gift of a good shirt. Can they see the shirt? Can they see the shirt? Should I stand up a little bit? Stand up, show them the shirt. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So we got the shirt. If I could lift my leg up in the air, I'm telling my age. You can see the shoes, the Kobe shoes I got on. My team was laughing at me, man. But this is in honor of the late great Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest of all time, the GOAT. That's an argument, of course, that people are having to this day. So honoring Kobe Bryant, honoring to his family, honoring to Gigi, who his daughter, unfortunately, her life was also lost in that terrible, terrible accident that happened. And so wearing all my Laker paraphernalia in his honor today. So, man, listen, this guest that is coming on today, when I first started thinking about this podcast of Secret Sauce, she was at the top of my list because, about 3 years ago, I think it was, I had actually taken her course myself, taking the class, and being a business consultant full-time and an entrepreneur, and having come across a lot of different opportunities, contracts. It was a world that I was curious about to see the world that she was in. And boy, was I blown away. Because, y'all, I'm going to tell you what. If you're not looking for a job and you have an entrepreneurial spirit like I do, you want to start your own, this is the lady that you need to speak with. And we'll get into it we'll get into it. But without any further ado, I want to introduce Miss Paula Watts. She is the president and CEO of GPI, which is Government Procurement Innovators. And if you haven't heard of her, trust me, her name is going to be famous and in lights. I'm speaking that. I'm prophesying that because the knowledge that she has, I'm telling you, the world needs to know, especially if you're here in the United States. Because, again, a lot of the programs that she talks about and has knowledge and insight on, particularly within a program called 8A SBA, is something that once you start digging into this, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to find a whole new world that you've never known about. And it's a very attractive world, a very lucrative world. in the world of government contracts. So without any further ado, because I'm already talking about it, we're going to introduce Miss Paula. Hey, Miss Paula.
Hey, how you doing? Happy
um,
New Year.
Thank you. Same to you. Same to you. I really appreciate you being here today. And again, I'm so excited to have you here because for me, this is like a dream come true that I always said if I was to do anything that had to do with being able to tell others about opportunities, yours was one that I definitely want to shout to the world about.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you are, and I'll let you talk about it. You are the CEO and president, right, of GPI. And if you want to go ahead and tell us about GPI. What is GPI?
GPI it stands for Government's Procurement Innovators,
Okay.
but my website stands for God'sPlanIWin.com.
Come on now.
Using the acronyms.
Yes, ma'am.
GPI train small businesses on how to become engaged as a federal contractor
Okay.
and access these billions and billions and billions
Come on.
of dollars of contracts that's available to small businesses.
Yes.
So our program is 18 weeks. We're getting ready to create an accelerator program for 9 weeks.
Okay. Okay.
That allows businesses to register their business with the government and start competing on federal contracts.
Okay. Okay. Man, that is amazing. So that alone right there, just that sentence. And ladies and gentlemen, when she says billions, is she's not exaggerating. Literally, as we say, secure in the bag, one of the biggest bags in this country is the bag of the government. And, we all know, we get taxes, that's just a small pinch of the bag, literally, because there are other opportunities out there where, again, you can get 6-figure, 7-figure, income being made without any experience. Right, Miss Paula?
That is correct.
Okay.
My program and it's really geared towards my community, to be honest, because no one has really taught us how to become CEOs. If you look at the system is designed from education, from day one, that you become a laborer.
Come on now. Here we go.
So
Let's get into
your
it.
degrees are your skill sets.
Yeah.
I've had doctors, dentists that's come through the program. It's a skill set. Accountants. No one is really truly teaching businesses how to manage the business.
Yeah.
We all start out with self-employed because we have a skill set.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a little bit of my background. It's unique. I'm originally from Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
After college, I went to the big city of Washington, D.C.
Come on now.
And my first job was with a company that was a part of this program that you just mentioned called the 8A, the number 8 and the letter A. It's a business development program.
Yes.
Which allows you to go to any federal agency and they can award contracts up to $4 million with no competition. Can I get an amen from the church?
Come on now.
No
Yes,
competition. Ma'am. So my first job was an event planner with a company who had a contract that was a part of that program.
Yeah.
So it allowed me to coordinate events because that was a good job for me. I like to plan parties. So letting the government pay these companies millions of dollars to set up their meetings, it made sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I attached myself to one contract that was a part of that program and ended up going through 5 companies before I decided to cut out the middleman and start my own business in 1996.
Come on now. Yeah.
The first year in business, I received my first $1 million contract. The second year, I applied into that program and received another $3 million contract. And I quickly grew the business within 5 years to close to $15 million in contracts
Wow.
with almost 40 employees.
Wow.
And I had two partners. And that's where the problem and challenges began,
I
because
remember
I
the story.
went
Yeah, I
from
remember
a
the story.
project manager
Yeah.
to running a multi-million-dollar company and didn't have a clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
The government was awarding millions of dollars of contracts, and I didn't know how to protect myself.
Mm.
One of my business partner felt like that he could run all his personal expenses through the company.
Uh-oh.
The last straw for me was a $3,000 custom-made pinstripe suit with his initials going down the pinstripe. It's like, you have lost your mind. So I had my assistant to do an audit on the credit card.
Yeah.
He takes her in the elevator and threatens her. After he threatens her, I terminate him. He then conspired with two employees, because we had almost 40 employees at that time, to sue me and the other partner for sexual harassment.
Wow.
Because he was their alibi.
Mm.
After $125,000 in attorney fees, $100,000 to buy him out, I had no more operating cash, so I transferred $7 million of my contracts to another 8A firm and closed the business in 2005.
Okay.
And
And let me interrupt real quick. So, secret sauce tip. And I always, Miss Paula, what I try to give to my audiences are, when I hear something that especially it rings an alarm of something people need to understand and know. When you're going into business, the first thing you want to make sure of is that you're legally protected, that you protect yourself, because you can put in all this hard work to build something, and it can all be brought down within just a short amount of time, especially, you know, if you have partners. Hey, you might be friends in the beginning, but it's still business. You know, you got to protect yourself, even as partners. So best friends, husband and wife, you know, whatever it is, make sure your contracts are in place, because life happens. And unfortunately, you start finding out people's true colors, and that business could come tumbling down because of that. So secret sauce tip, protect yourself, get an attorney. Go ahead, Ms. Paul.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And for me, this has been a very spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Because at 25, I knew God had given me the vision that I was going to own a business. I didn't know how, didn't know the steps, but I knew I would own it. So by 35, I started that business. By 40, I was a multimillionaire. By 45, I had to close the business. And I thought I was being punished by God, because I knew He had charged me with being a steward of His money and a leader of his people.
Yeah.
And God said, it's not about you.
Come on now.
He had to take me through the journey and the process to be able to get to this day, this day, and understanding all of you who are entrepreneurs, your steps have already been ordered.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
It's just a matter of you believing and having the faith to persevere. It's not easy. It's not easy, but He didn't say it was going to be easy.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know, we talked about this on the last podcast with my guy Legacy, who, again, shout out to Legacy for this beautiful studio, and for opening up his doors to the Secret Sauce team, and shout out to my team in the building. But we talked about this, and, you know, having God in the center of your business, having Him as your business partner is what I that's my phrase. God is our business partner, Ms. Paula. You can't go wrong, because unfortunately, when craziness happens like it happened to you, if you're not rooted and grounded spiritually, you could go crazy, because, you know, losing 6-figure, 7-figure, you know, potential income, that's not an easy pill to swallow, you know. But the good thing about it is His grace allows you to walk through that storm, through that setback, for a setup, is what I like to say. He sets you up for even better, even greater, which is where we're at now, right? Like that's so
Absolutely.
after the doors closed. I think you said you transferred your contracts.
To another
And
company,
yep,
and then I started volunteering as a SCORE counselor, which is a resource partner of the Small Business Administration up in DC.
yeah,
And I created templates back then because I realized no one was training us on how to manage a business on that level.
yeah, yeah.
So after 2 years there, ran out of money, applied for a position with the Small Business Administration. God is strategic.
Yeah.
I was hired in the Philadelphia district office.
Okay.
So again, I'm having tantrums. God, I love DC. Why do
Yeah.
I have to go to Philadelphia? But that was the office that actually processed all the applications for participants applying into that program.
Yeah.
My job was to service them,
Yeah.
to help them. It's a 9-year program, again, that you are in that give you access to these multi-million-dollar contracts with no competition. And when I left the DC area and even moved here after 4 years there to get closer to my mother in North Carolina, I realized nobody outside of DC had a clue about these programs.
Miss Paula, okay, why is it? Why is it that we don't know about these contracts? There's clearly out and available for us, especially minorities. That are
Lack of
available.
knowledge.
Oh wow,
Lack
wow.
of knowledge. I just think that SBA, they're a small agency, and they're stretched as any other government agency.
Yeah.
And trying to promote these programs, it's hard to do it with with limited staffing.
Okay. Okay. So, lack of knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I just want to encourage you, and I'll make sure, because for those of you that are watching, I'm sure your curiosity is already piqued. So I'll make sure that by the time we wrap up, you have Miss Paula's information, because we are getting to a point here. We're coming to a point because she has an awesome program where she has already testimonials of students that have gone up under her tutelage, that have taken her classes, and have graduated and went on to serious money. I'll just say that to make some serious money with these contracts. So, Miss Paula, let's talk about again. So, lack of knowledge. Tell me about your transition into realizing that you really had something here, just from even an entrepreneurial standpoint, with GPI and the knowledge that you could spread to
Well,
folks.
throughout all of the companies that I'd gone through, working at SBA, studying the businesses that I serviced, I studied businesses. I studied SBA's operations. I studied their resource partners.
Yeah.
And I realized everybody was information based. I would host a webinar, a workshop at SBA, and everybody's excited once they leave. But once they leave, they're like, okay, what do I do with this information?
How do I get started? Right. Yeah, yeah.
And so what I realized is no one was teaching businesses the process. What's the first step?
Yeah.
What's the second step? And so I created this program around the process. And everybody starts at the same place. Because for me, I knew that our ancestors, the slaves, they knew if only we can learn how to read and write,
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
children's children will have a better future.
Come on now.
And for me, that's the spirit of GPI.
Mm.
It's teaching you all the government language,
Now listen.
teaching you the business side.
Yep, I got it. I have to always have to interrupt because there are always certain secret sauce tips that I've already put out there. When I did my first podcast, one of the things that I mentioned was passing down the knowledge to the next generation, even starting with parents passing down knowledge to your children. And the parents, if you don't even know, it's understandable. Make sure you get your kids in front of people that do know. Get them into college, get them into universities. Most of all, get them into the research because unfortunately, even universities and college may not talk about 8A, right?
Absolutely not. People with MBAs, they're teaching you how to go work for someone else.
Yeah.
And for me, as that 25-year-old out of North Carolina, I had role models.
Yes.
I had all black-owned businesses. So that gave me the pathway to say, I can do that too.
Absolutely.
And it's not enough of us, and that's not what our children are seeing.
Yeah. Man. Mm-hmm. So good. So you're realizing again you're on to something, and let's talk about fast forward into what GPI is today. I want to hear the success stories, like what not without name dropping. I know you've had some pretty high level connects, right?
Absolutely.
Just here in Atlanta alone. Let's talk about that. What's going on today?
I think my most, I feel like everybody that comes to the program, I adopt them because it's a transformation from where they started to how they end. But
I'm one of the adopted sons. I'm one of the sons. I took the program.
My most successful protege won $1 billion contract last year with the Department of Agriculture. She's here managing all of their foreclosed properties.
Oh.
That's how we create generational wealth.
Yes.
But
Very
nobody, again, is teaching us this.
Yeah. So you have a curriculum, right?
Correct.
Literally, ladies and gentlemen, you can sign up for an actual class, not knowing anything about 8A, SBA. Everybody's probably heard of these terms. I know in my world, dealing with loans and helping businesses get funding, it was the 7A program. That I heard about a lot because that was the type of business funding that could be available to small businesses. So when I even heard of 8A, I wasn't sure of what it was either. And so, I myself, your boy Kenny Ray Tevis, I took Miss Paula's class and went through the full course. And some of you are probably asking the question, so what'd you do with it, Kenny? Well, my thing was, because being a business consultant, and shout out to True Source Funding, my company, I was very like-minded with Miss Paula in the fact of that my heartbeat was to help businesses understand their potential of the type of contracts funding that they could obtain. So the purpose behind my taking the class was to then be able to pay it forward to all of even my clients and funding. And sidebar, I kind of went on a journey to get some capital in-house, and we're on the verge of actually closing out on a multi-million-dollar contract as we speak. So I'm very excited about that. And I always wanted to circle back around with Miss Paula here because, even in landing a contract like that, bringing these worlds together, number one, to just educate our people so that they can understand the type of funding that is out here. But again, the 8A program, just so you all know, you don't have to know a thing about business. Literally with Miss Paula's class, all the way to the bare basics of tax ID, business checking accounts, all the bare fundamentals. like every step by step to eventually getting to registration with the government, right? Registration with SBA, certain organizations that you need to sign up with. All of that valuable knowledge is within the class that she offers through GPI, correct?
As well as the templates I took from the first business. What I'm training businesses to do, follow the blueprint.
Yeah.
Dress up and look like everybody else. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And we've also added office hours now, so where all the cohorts come together every week and they have questions. And then for those who are challenged with the technology, we have lab sessions that help students to go through the technology and websites.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. And then so let's talk about how can we contact you? How can we contact you? And we'll put, for those of y'all that are subscribing, we'll make sure that the information is in the chat, as well as we'll be adding to the website. We'll add links to how you can contact Ms. Paula, because what I want to do is open the door as wide as I can for people that want to sign up for your class. So how can they do that?
And I appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
Yes, ma'am.
Part of our mission and our creed is anyone that comes through our community, everyone has to reach back and give back.
Yes.
So I encourage people to go to our website. It's gpiwin.com. God's Plan I Win, WIN.com.
I love that.
And go under the business tube. And you can listen to the others as they come back and share their journey of how they've been successful in this space.
Very good. Very good. How many students would you say have come through your course?
We have almost 2,500 in our database.
Okay.
And I've been doing this for 9 years. I now have 6 trainers.
Okay.
3 that came from SBA that retired.
Oh, very good.
Because you've got to
So you got people
understand the
that know
inside.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
And then I have people from the industry up in D.C. who are running and managing $200 and $300 million contracts during the training, because I didn't get that far.
Okay.
So it's bringing everybody in with the knowledge.
Yeah.
And let's take over.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Man, we're going to have you back. I'm going to have to have you back to the show just to definitely talk more. I mean, we're in early 2024, so, maybe we can, in a couple months have you back in. And because I feel like the best is still yet to come for GPI, for yourself, Ms. Paula. And you're already operating on $1 million level. So that means we're going into the billions, right?
And it's not even about the money. It's about the children's children.
Absolutely.
It's about us mobilizing. It's about us coming together and understand the power we have within collectively if we learn how to pool our resources together.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. Amen to that. And just secret sauce tip, pool our resources together. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't stress that enough. No one man is an island. It's even spiritual. It says, one to put 10,000 to fight, but 2 can do so much more, right, in the spirit. So we have to, if anything else, you don't take anything else away, because what I do want to make sure is that if you are curious or we've sparked up some type of interest, please reach out to myself, or we'll put Ms. Paula's contact information in there. But even if you reach out to me, I'll make sure I can get you directly to her organization and to take that class. But please, let's start paying it forward. Let's get our kids plugged into this stuff at early ages, right? Let's get our communities plugged in, because the biggest bag, again, in America is right in front of us, and it's low-hanging fruit. We just got to get educated. We got to get the knowledge on how to do that, on how to acquire this low-hanging fruit in the form of government contracts through this 8A program. And I promise you, it actually, and last question, I know we're wrapping up, but it doesn't take long, really, does it? Like you said, your course is...
It's 18, and then it's 18 weeks. You're meeting once a week.
Yeah.
But you have homework and lab assignment. It is set up like school. And then I'm getting ready to launch out an accelerator program for those who want to act like we're in summer school. That's 9 weeks where you can get it done quicker.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. Now, there is a cost, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, at the end of the day,
it's an investment.
It's an investment.
Which is also a write-off.
Come on now.
We have to understand the game to play the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there are various ways that, we try to help. I'm going to be partnering with Miss Paula, even my organization, to see if we can offer some type of sponsorship, things like that, for people that really have a desire and may, not have the means. Now, if you don't have the means, though, make sure you're hungry enough,
well,
because
I think we always say that's but we pay for what we want.
We do, don't we? We do, won't we?
We can go out and buy $300, $400, $500 tennis shoes.
Come on.
We can
Yeezys,
get our hair done.
Gucci.
Could be $1,000 a month. Come on.
Come on now. And at the end of the day, you got to be able to invest in yourself.
Exactly.
And this is a race. We're still gaining on time we've lost from the year, from previous years.
And what's coming. That's what's even more frightening to me.
Yes.
And us being able to mobilize 2024.
Yes. Yes. Miss Paula, thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.
Absolutely. I appreciate you taking time out to sit with us today. And again, if you want to reach out to her, we'll make sure that we have her information, links, ways that you can get in touch with Miss Paula. And I'm excited. I'm excited for what's coming.
And LinkedIn is also a good source.
Okay.
Just Google my name and I'll pop up.
Okay. Awesome.
All
hey,
right.
Listen, we're going to go ahead and sign off here. And we'll definitely have Miss Paula back. That is a promise. So Kenny Ray Tevis, Secret Sauce, we're signing off. We'll see y'all next time.
You gon' know I'm a winner.
You get the gist.